Hi, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Scott Natal's most recent hike, which occurred the 25th of February. Now, this is just a little short video, okay, like an intro, as my last videos have been quite heavy, full on with Google Earth maps in relation to different topics and stuff, okay? I also know there is an important thing to talk about within Scott's video, but I'm going to leave that for my next upcoming one. This is just a little intro of a small detail, a different one, what I picked up on in his hike. It might not be much, that's why I'm making a video, just to show you, and then you can give your own opinion down below, okay? So what I'm talking about is during Scott Natal's hike at the 28-minute, 28-second mark, he was by the side of a tall, what would you call it, cliff or edge of a mountain or something, and he's at the bottom. He's looking up at it and he says, oh, thought this was a cave, but when I got there, it's like a waterfall. And you see like a few gaps and openings which are shallow, and then almost like rock fall as well. Now, at the minute mark, when Scott Natal approaches the supposed cave, which isn't one, he ends up putting the camera underneath the rocks, and it's what's located there that looks a little odd, okay? I'll show you the footage right now.
It's been there for a long time, you can't tell. It goes. Rats living in there, yeah. Bunch of rats. A nest. Doesn't look like it's covering anything.
So yeah, it does look like something is wedged under the rock by the side of that small rock. Let's just take a look at a screenshot so I can try and enhance it and maybe make it a little bit clearer for you to see. Okay, so I've got a screenshot of the bone in question. Hopefully you can see it. It's towards the bottom of the screen. If you can't, let me just try and point out where it is I'm talking about. Okay, talking about this area here. Okay, from the looks of it, there seems to be where it thins off, where the bone, well, supposedly the bone gets thin, as you would expect in a bone. The head of it, which is here, where it's a bit knobbly and bumpy, looks like the end of the bone or the joint of where it be attached to of another bone, okay? Additionally, it looks like there's a fracture in that part, looks slightly separated, a line going through, like it's been cut, broken. Okay. Try magnifying glass as well. Hopefully you can see. You can see that like fracture there, where it looks like it's broken or so. And then what looks like the head down here where it's a bit knobbly. You see what I'm saying? This area. Yeah, there we go. So, if we just go and edit the filters and stuff like that, we might be able to make it a little bit clearer, possibly. Apologies for background sound. That's fucking annoying humans, okay? Trying to disrupt what I'm doing. So, exposure. Let's try and lighten it up a bit. There we go, about there. Brilliant. I've no idea what that's about. I won't say it's brilliant. You never know. Whilst I'm going along doing this, I might end up thinking, oh, look at that. Something else shows up. Don't think that really does much. I mean, I don't want to be changing the colour of the actual object, because if you do that, then you could say, oh, it's a bone because it's pure white. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't want to change that setting. I'm just trying to get, you know, the outlines of it just a little bit clearer and sharper, and that's all. As said, you can let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I can narrate as I'm going along about other stuff too. Yeah, they're the colours. We don't want colours. Sharpeners. That just makes it a bit blurry. Noise reduction. that makes it too smooth. But you get the idea. The filters. No. I mean, it depends how you look at it. Right, let's just leave it like that and just zoom in. So this is obviously a rock which is wedged underneath. It's just this bit, the feature of it, it does look kind of like a bone. Oh, we've got more sound interruption from a plane. See, this is the shit I've got to deal with most of the time. What is that there? It looks a little bit bumpy and lumpy, and it's on the side and not on top, as if a bone was on its side, resting. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll just do a quick summary now. So if it is a bone, in a sense, it's nothing groundbreaking, because you can find lots of bones within the desert, and hikers have said that themselves and even captured it on camera, whether it be skulls, horns, leg bones, even that supposed femur bone that private search and rescue crew found themselves at Blackgate Canyon, I think it was called. So yeah, but if it is a bone, I mean, I can't be confident it is, but if it was, it's really the location that's kind of interesting, because as you saw, it's not a cave, but there's like a little tiny shallow opening. Do you know, like the keyhole cave? I know you can't call it a cave, but I don't know what other word to describe it as. A pit, a den, a hut, I don't know. So I'll just call it cave because it's easier for me to, use, okay? So even if it was like a shallow opening, there's all these rocks and big boulders which are filling it in, okay? Most likely from the colouring of it as well. It was from above at some point, and maybe through erosion, and if it is a waterfall and weather and stuff, it wore away, and then the rocks broke off, collapsed, and then piled on top of one another and collected at the bottom. So could that bone have been from an animal, if it was around that area at the time, and then it got crushed by the rocks, hence why a supposed bone is lodged underneath? Because really, the size of that gap where Scott puts the camera under, it's not exactly wide or big, is it? So it couldn't have been like another animal that collected the bone or collected a carcass, dragged it back there and hid it there for food to eat another day, stuff like that. I mean, if it was like a bigger opening, a hut, a den, a cave, a proper cave, and you found a collection of bones within, you could put the argument across, oh, mountain lion killed something and then dropped the bones off there. And it makes sense because it'd be able to actually fit in. But I don't think a mountain lion would be able to fit into that tiny gap, no. So what else could have caused it? What else put it there? This is if we're talking on the terms of it being an actual bone, okay? So it'd be more likely in that case that it was crushed. Now, could you put it across, it could be a person, Kenny? I don't know, because you'd have to get the bone checked. Well, the supposed bone checked if it is one. But just a general idea, not to do exactly with this location or what Scott recorded, but in general, doesn't even have to apply to Kenny in a sense, because supposedly there is multiple missing hikers. I don't know how true that is, but people have said that, a range of them. There could be a possibility that a hiker was somewhere in the desert looking around and then was killed or trapped by rockfall. Not so much to do with going into a cave and then being, blocked in, locked in, you couldn't get out and then you died, but more to do with you went to the edge of an area, a shallow opening, and then the rocks fell on top of you on the outside or so. That could happen, but it's all to do with timing at the end of the day, just like how many people get crushed by trees, when you visually are out there looking, you'd hear the sound, you'd be somewhat alert, because you know, the environment itself there, it is fairly quiet, so I'm sure you'd be able to hear and listen out for sounds of danger maybe, I guess. So yeah, I think that's the end of that. Leave a comment down below. We'll get on to more important stuff, okay, in the next video. Get into it, focus on it and stuff like that. I don't know what style you would want, whether it be just sat here talking, show a few screenshots, video, or just do a little bit more, how else would you word it? I can't think of any other word but to use the word cinematic, you know, where it's slightly edited, bit of a better atmosphere, I guess. Maybe I can add that into the next video, we'll see. Leave a comment if you would want that, okay? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Don't want them to overlap with the image. Pardon me, it's because some fucking prick of an animal is above the roof and it's pissing me off with the tapping tip tip tap.